This is the way things got locked in. We already knew the Saints were the 1 and the Cowboys were the 4. The 2 and the 3 got set yesterday with the Rams and the Bears respective wins. Seahawks clinched their 5 spot. They were already a wild card spot. And then, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles get in. But, fellas, you know everything around here. We like to second-guess stuff.
Yes, we
so
do.
Here's the actuality in the NFC. LaDainian, you get to re-rank in terms of who you think the top seeds are right
I
now.
think the top seed are the Saints.
That would make sense, sure.
It's tough to go to the Superdome and play. They got home field advantage. At number 2, I'm going with the Bears. Ooh. I believe that the Bears got the best defense in the National Football League.
They do.
And that defense will travel no matter where they play. You can play in New Mexico. They're going to show up.
They have a head-to-head win over the Rams.
They do.
Yep.
And so that's the reason why I'm putting the Rams at number 3.
Okay.
I still think, depending on Todd Gurley, how healthy he is going into the playoffs, I think the Steelers is a very dangerous team. But I think missing Cooper Kupp is the difference. All right? At number 4, I'm going to go Cowboys.
Okay.
Ooh. Like the Cowboys playing at home their first game. All right? They're playing against Seattle. So I'm going to put Seattle right there at number 5.
It's already telling me who you think's going to win that game.
And then
That's a
the
good
Eagles
point.
round out at number 6, the bottom.
Okay.
So,
again, the only change you're making right now is Bears and Rams, and it's because of that Chicago defense.
It's because of that Chicago defense, but the Bears have already proven that they can beat the Rams. So psychologically, as a player, you don't forget how they beat you.
They don't. They didn't, but remember that the Rams had to travel to Soldier Field.
That's true.
If this game happens again, the Bears got to come to L.A.
72 and drive, no win whatsoever at the
No, it doesn't.
All right, over in the AFC, you know, yesterday was wild. Coming into the day, none of the 6 seeds were clinched in the AFC. Kansas City came in as the 1. They could win their way to home field advantage, and they did just that. Patrick Mahomes, home, first 3 minutes of the game, a 67-yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill. It was 7-0 KC. Yeah, and there would be more later. Second half, Mahomes, Demarcus Robinson will take this. Whee!
Oh, my God.
And 1 tackle, there would be no tackle, 89 yards for the touchdown. Mahomes, over 5,000 yards passing and 50 touchdowns this season.
Can you say MVP?
The list of names that have done that, Peyton Manning and Patrick Mahomes. And that's it.
Yeah.
And so they clinch home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. Arrowhead in January ought to be good there. They're going to have to wait a week, as will the Patriots, who won their game against the Jets yesterday, to clinch the other bye. And you see the wild card matchups.
Like that.
Willie, you are up for the AFC.
Well,
what would you change?
Well, Scott, you want to crown them, so we're going to crown them. They earned the number 1 seed, so we'll put them at the number 1 seed. And we know how tough the Patriots are playing at home. A combined 15-1 record at home, which means that these 2 teams are dangerous when they have the home field advantage. Now, I got a little bit of shakeup because I'm going to move, and I know you argue with me this in the production meeting. Your Chargers up, even though they got hit in the mouth last time I wouldn't see. I think they'll regain and rebound, and they'll get back together. Now, the Colts is an up-and-coming team. This team right here is red hot, one of the most dangerous teams going in the playoffs. And then I'm going to round it off with the Ravens going in right here, and then the Texans limping in at the 6th seed right here.
All right, you jumped up Indianapolis
Absolutely.
over 2 division winners.
I did, and the reason why I did that is because you want to be playing your best football going into the playoffs. So when you look at Andrew Luck, it hasn't always been about Andrew Luck the last couple of weeks. It's been about this offensive line. It's been about this running game. It's been about this great defense. We haven't talked about the Indianapolis Colts for the last couple of years without mentioning Andrew Luck. They're finding other ways to win. This defense is playing at a high level. They're athletic. They're physical. They're doing all the things they need to do, and they found a running game finally after, 5-6 years?
Yeah.
They finally put it all together, and I think this is one of the hottest teams in the league.
Assuming they handle their business on wild card, it'll be at Patriots or at Chiefs, depending on what happens in the other game.
Yep.
Lindsay?
Willie, one more thing the Colts have going for them, a very important under-the-radar playoff factor, the Beards. I know you saw Adam Vinatieri's as he nailed that 53-yarder that could have been good from 61. And by the way, he is going to nail that post-football mall Santa job. Andrew Luck's beard is come on, Santa, right? Andrew Luck's beard's well documented. Frank Reich has a pretty good one going. And that's not all. This team is knee-deep in unused shaving cream and frustrated wives. And as any good hockey fan will tell you at this time of year, that stuff matters. Speaking of beards, Eric Weddle's isn't what it used to be, which was glorious, but it too will be a playoff beard for the first time in 5 years. That win yesterday, an accompanying playoff berth, big for Weddle, not only because it guarantees him a postseason date against his old team, the Chargers, but it also puts $1 million in his pocket. His contract carrying a pretty hefty playoff/Pro Bowl clause. He made both. He gets paid. Nick Foles, on the other hand, well, he had $1 million clause in his contract as well, one that would have paid him that amount of money if he played 33% of the Eagles' offensive snaps this season. Yesterday's injury forced him to leave the game 4 snaps shy of that milestone. 4 snaps, you guys. But here's the good news. If he wins this weekend and he takes a third of the snaps against the Bears, he will get $1 million. He reworked his contract last year to be heavily incentive-laden, so he's got a lot of money coming his way if he goes the distance once again. For more Week 17 fun, here is We Live for This, presented by Pepsi.